It's a revved up remembrance for an Irving police officer.
He was pretty much my riding partner. He and I were very close.
He loved to do these events.
Police from several cities joined in the tribute. Hear from some of those involved.
When I heard about it, I was like, I got to be a part of this.
We're really excited to have so many people down here.
An emotional event draws attention to a life-changing crime. We are at Illuminate Irving as the city shines a light on domestic violence. What did you kind of see out here?
Pretty much some of the trees that were floating on top of the water and some of the trees that were already gone.
A big volunteer effort after floods caused a lot of damage on the Campion Trail. Find out the interesting tie these trees have to the Super Bowl. Plus, where residents are getting some important health information, the business adding jobs in Irving, and teens get some powerful messages about how to stay safe on the roads. This is City Source. A first-time event lights up the night for an important cause. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. Hundreds of people turned out on the Mandalay Canal for Illuminate Irving. It marked Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a cause organizers say does not always get the attention it needs. So this is the big way they are working to change that. Every one of these lanterns now going into the Mandalay Canal represents someone affected by domestic violence. The ones in purple represent lives lost, including the daughter of Connie Adams back in May.
I can't sleep, I can't eat, and it's fresh. It just happened.
Her daughter had 2 kids, 2 and 3. And you hear those and you realize that this is happening in your backyard.
A family says this terrifying scene played out in Irving tonight, and now 2 people are dead.
She was my life, she was my heart. My daughter, she was a victim of domestic violence.
Connie and other family members of 19-year-old Elizabeth Adams turned out for Illuminate Irving, an event named not only for the lanterns, but also the attention to the cause organizers hope to generate.
We cannot ignore it. We cannot hide from it. We have to illuminate it. We want to get the conversation going about domestic violence.
I ask every one of you tonight to start the conversation.
It's great that so many people came out, but it's also reflective of how great that problem is in our society.
I'm a 20-year survivor. Domestic violence is just close to my heart.
Some people here have sad stories to share that they hope others can learn from.
It was very, very violent to the point where he had an AK rifle and he threw it in the middle of the floor and it just started to spin. And I said, if no bullets come out, that's going to be my way out.
I have actually family members and friends that have survived it and some that have been casualties. So it's out here to good to be, support the community and a great cause.
All of us know someone who's been a victim of domestic violence. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men are a victim.
I know a couple people, but it hasn't affected me, so I don't really know much about it.
To build that education, Irving's Family Advocacy Center and other local agencies shared information about the services they provide.
And if we're not talking about it, then we can't get the help and the resources to the people who need it.
I think it's a beautiful experience just to seeing a whole bunch of people just wanting to raise awareness.
Through song, personal stories, and those lanterns decorated with heartfelt messages.
And I just wrote someone's name that I know personally on it.
They believe they can offer voice and vision to this issue.
As a police department and police officers, we want to help victims.
Irving Police Chief Larry Boyd helped Connie Adams put her lantern into the water.
They know what me and my family's been through.
And she found a kind of relief that surprised her as she watched the lantern move.
I was able to let her go. I feel like a burden has been lifted, that I can finally move on and let her be at peace.
Connie's story is one of many.
Well, you see all the lights, and again, you realize how many people it's affected.
And as those lanterns float on the canal and dusk turns into full darkness, people here believe there are a lot of messages to learn from this display.
I want people to see that it can happen to anybody, no matter how much support you have.
I have chills right now just thinking about it. Someone's mother, someone's aunt, someone's sister.
I really hope that the message that gets out tonight is that if you are in a domestic violence situation, come to us for help. Get out of it.
I think it's something that needs to be talked about, and it's something that we as a society and we as a community need to come to terms with and find ways to deal with it.
And that starts with making an issue visible to everyone who can make a difference.
It was a powerful night tonight.
And here is some important information to keep in mind if you or someone you know needs help with a domestic violence issue. Irving's Family Advocacy Center can be reached at 972-721-6560. And there's a link to a full resource guide at cityofirving.org/FAC. Of course, in any emergency, call 911. Our coverage of Domestic Violence Awareness Month continues later with how a large employer is working to help local victims. Meanwhile, the Irving Police Department continues to mourn the death of Officer Mark Dahl. Motorcycle officers from several agencies joined in a special tribute to him at a charity event in Fort Worth. We heard from some of those participating and learned more about the cause they are supporting.
They are putting this motorcycle to the extreme.
This obstacle course for motorcycle police officers is never easy.
This is pushed to the limit simply because this represents a stressful situation that the police officers get in.
The fundraiser for the charity Spokes for Hope is drawing officers from across the region to Cabela's in Fort Worth.
The heart's beating pretty hard and you're ready to go, but it's a lot of fun.
We bring all the police officers together, which is a good unity with the community and the police officers.
And this year's challenge includes not only navigating the course, but also moving past grief.
Earlier this year, we lost Officer Mark Dahl, as you know, who was a motor officer. He loved to participate in this event.
He always made this one. We really miss him here today. He should be here and we really miss him.
El Paso Police Department Patrolman David Ortiz.
Before the rodeo, organizers recognized officers who died in the line of duty.
We all mourn the loss of Officer Mark Dahl.
And I want to especially say thank you for honoring Officer Mark Dahl. As you heard that we lost him earlier this year, that was obviously a tragic time for us as a department, and the opportunity that you give us to honor him and remember him is very special.
They honor him with tributes and songs now all too familiar to Mark Dahl's grieving family members.
It's an honor for him, but at the same time, it's a pretty sad day at the same time.
The officer playing the bagpipes stopped at the motorcycle of Officer Mark Dahl with Irving PD.
Mark Dahl's motorcycle and boots will remain in the middle of the course for this event.
He will be here with us. His bike's sitting out there on the course, and his family is here to watch.
A very moving event for them as they still deal with the sadness of his death.
So in his honor, let's just have a very successful event.
As the challenge gets underway, participants say it's not only about how they perform, but also the impact they can make by reaching out to the community and fulfilling the mission of Spokes for Hope, which is providing bicycles for children who might not otherwise get them.
Oh, it's incredible. Just to see the kids smile. A lot of the children that do receive the bikes, they've never had a bicycle before.
There's been literally thousands of bicycles that have been given away.
It's a good competition amongst the officers. It's good camaraderie amongst the officers, and we all feel like this is something we do to give back to our communities.
And I think it brings a lot of appreciation from the people that stand behind the police and all this.
That event was part of 3 days of Spokes for Hope activities, which also included a concert. Moving on to other news now, Oki Data Americas plans to bring about 100 jobs to Irving. The New Jersey-based printing technology firm will open a regional operations center in this building at 8505 Freeport Parkway. Both the City of Irving and State of Texas offered incentives to get the company here. Oki had considered other sites in Texas and Georgia before deciding on Irving. Leaders from 2 major telecommunications companies announced a new partnership to benefit college students and employers. The news came during an executive roundtable at Northlake College. Nokia and Primcell both have a presence in Irving, and executives say they see a need for qualified technicians. This new program will allow students to draw on local expertise in developing their careers.
We have more than 2,000 employees here in Irving, in Nokia campus here. And basically there are about 700 employees who work in my team. So we have brought this idea to them, and they are very excited to be part of it and coming here and lending their knowledge. It's like kind of giving back to the society, right? So
the 8-week technology training program is expected to start in January. The city of Irving is getting some volunteer help after last year's floods on the Campion Trail. The Parks Department reopened the trail a few months back, and now it's time to replace some of the finishing touches. In this case, some trees that have a tie to sports history. Take a look.
It's a very beautiful park.
Looking at the beauty of nature on Irving's Campion Trail, it can be hard to imagine what we heard described. Serious floods overtook this area at Birds Fort Trail Park.
This water level, it was 12 to 14 feet higher than the level right now on the lake right here.
So standing right here, we would have been about 6 feet underwater?
Right.
That was mid-2015. The city's parks crew took some pictures after the water started to recede, but the pictures do not tell the full story. The water was forceful. What did you kind of see out here?
Pretty much some of the trees that were floating on top of the water and some of the trees that were already gone because this water was doing this number like right here.
There you go.
On this day, volunteers with UPS at North Lake College are working with the Irving Parks Department and Keep Irving Beautiful to replace those trees that were lost to flooding.
Oh, that's a big help.
A UPS grant paid for the new trees.
With that grant, we purchased 45 native trees, and these are large, healthy trees that we purchased.
One of the giving priorities of the UPS Foundation are programs that impact environmental sustainability.
The parks team guides the volunteers to help them go through the proper planting steps. It is a lot of work.
It's more than just digging a hole and throwing a tree in the ground.
I was almost out of breath.
In fact, there's more to it than some of them expected. They've got to get each tree out of the pot, loosen the roots so they will spread out underground, make sure the hole is the correct depth, put the tree in, and add some dirt and mulch around it.
I'm turning colors probably too because it is pretty hard to shovel the dirt back and stuff like that.
But they all believe it's worth it to make a difference.
Trees are obviously very important to us beyond the aesthetics of them. They're critical to us in our environment.
The trees that were here represent a chapter in local history. Back in 2010, volunteers turned out to plant them for the NFL Super Grow, an initiative to offset the environmental impact from North Texas hosting the Super Bowl. Irving earned recognition from the NFL and others for the success of the Super Grow. So the city wanted the trees back, but that is only one part of a big project. Getting this trail back open has not been easy. As the water receded, it left behind a lot of silt and other debris the city's Parks Department had to clean up.
As soon as they were able to physically and safely get back out here, they started transforming our beautiful parks back into that beautiful area that you see now.
Sometimes we clean it 1 week, we had to open it, and the next week we'll come back again.
More rain.
More rain.
While there is still work ahead on some portions of the trail, it is open. The result of work by City of Irving employees and volunteers.
Citizens of Irving, if they have not experienced Campion trails, need to come out here and see our trail system, see what partnerships do to improve everything we do and the quality of life in our city.
It's just a good showing of our community coming together to make a difference.
Now, instead of thinking about those pictures of the past, they are imagining what's ahead as these trees grow.
You look at this in another 10 or 15 years, it's going to be solid, live, big trees, a lot of shade, and beautiful.
We'll have birds nesting in these trees, and wildlife will appreciate that. Of course, they scrub the air and help keep pollutants out of the air for us.
Now that the water has receded, and hopefully it stays down, come on out, join us on Campion Trails.
Yeah, and in other news from Keep Irving Beautiful, board and staff members just completed the annual litter index. They go around and check the same areas of the city each year in compliance with the standards of Keep America Beautiful. They found litter in Irving is down more than 30% since they started the survey. Catch up on other stories from Keep Irving Beautiful on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/The City of Irving. Peer pressure, hectic schedules, cell phones, and more can all affect how people drive. Those hazards can be even more serious for young people still new to driving. City Source reporter Amshi Stephenson covered the Teen Driver Safety Fair.
March the 20th, I had two sisters that passed away in a car wreck coming from Corpus.
Brianna and Jade Robinson were killed in a car accident caused by distracted driving. Now, Their brother, Dr. Teron Wooldridge, shares his emotional story of his two sisters at the 5th Annual Teen Driver Safety Fair.
There were 4 young ladies in the car. The driver looked down at her GPS, veered off the road, and actually was hit head-on by an 18-wheeler.
Wooldridge shares his story in hopes of raising awareness and passing a distracted driving state law.
Can't bring back my sisters, but I've found peace in talking to others to bring awareness and hopefully to have some legislation passed. That's my goal and that's been my mission.
A goal and mission that is familiar to the Davila family. 18-year-old Sabrina tragically lost her life to a wrong-way driver. She was 6 months pregnant. Today, the Davilas have started a foundation in Sabrina and Leticia's honor.
Because I don't want another mother, another father, parents go through what we have been through today, when we lost our daughter and grandbaby.
AAA Texas hosts this event at Lively Point Youth Center to inform teens and parents about the possible challenges on the road.
We're committed to keeping teen drivers safe behind our roads. When you hear these tragic stories about teens being seriously injured or even killed, many of these crashes are preventable.
Inside, the safety fair consisted of vendor booths and guest speakers.
23 times more likely to crash.
Miss Outstanding Teen Heather King challenged her peers not to text and drive. Texting something as short as OK can put someone in danger.
The amount of time that you press send OK could be the amount of time that you get in car accidents. So it's just really implementing the idea that something so small can have a huge impact.
And outside, interactive exhibits and vehicle simulators that reenact distracted driving, seatbelt safety, and poor depth of vision.
AAA just released a study this week that found the top 3 deadly mistakes made by teen drivers include speeding, distracted driving, and poor visual scanning of the roadways.
People that drive while intoxicated drive 80 times before they're caught once by police officers. Now think about how many lives they can be affecting. I decided to try the walk and turn to see the effects of what could happen while driving under the influence.
I'm looking for a series of 8 clues. First one's during the instructional phase, whether or not they can maintain their balance. Number 2, I'm looking for if they're listening to me, do they start too soon? Then it's on to the performance of the test. Do they take the correct number of steps, step off line, miss heel to toe, arms for balance, using their arms for balance, then an improper turn. Wow, I didn't think you did.
Awful. Brand new teen driver Bryce Stephenson crashed this car a few months ago. He attended the fair to educate himself on becoming a defensive driver.
I wanted to come here today so I could be more informed on how to become a better driver on the streets. I have been in an accident. I have been T-boned on my driver's side.
I just became a teen driver and I heard about it and I was like, ooh, this might be fun.
Every attendee left with strong educational messages they will take with them on the roads.
The phone can wait. I know they don't have that many messages to check.
People can kill you and you can kill people faster than you realize.
Friends can answer the phone, can look at the GPS, so increasing the understanding that the other people can kind of team with the driver and help the driver maintain their focus.
Don't text and drive. It's horrible. It's bad.
Just remember, if you want to go out and you want to have fun, you can, but just be responsible. Don't think that you can drive because you can't.
Amshi Stephenson for City Source.
Promoting awareness of diabetes was the goal of a recent event in Irving. The Northeast chapter of the Texas Indo-American Physician Society hosted this health fair at Mustang Park Recreation Center. You could see that people there got to take advantage of a number of health screenings and also take in some educational exhibits.
Diabetes is very rampant now in younger people as opposed to us thinking it's an older people disease. And here we are here to launch our Find Diabetes, Fight Diabetes campaign. And as a part of this campaign, we want to detect early diabetes.
Weight is the main culprit where you see once your BMI start going above 24 and above, you do have a high probability of the diabetes.
Pay attention to what you're eating and also exercise. Exercise is a big key to healthy living.
To help people develop those healthy eating habits, the fair featured dietitians familiar with South Asian foods. Another health note, Dallas County Health and Human Services is offering free flu shots for uninsured and low-income residents. The department says it is important to get immunized because 19 adults in Dallas County died from the flu during the last flu season. Already this year, several people have been hospitalized. The adult immunization clinic is located at 2377 North Stemmons Freeway in Dallas. No appointment is needed. Children can go to any Dallas County immunization clinic, including one in Irving. It's at 440 South Nursery Road. All clinics are open weekdays from 8 until 4. We have been telling you about the various ways the city of Irving has been marking Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Here's how one company decided to get involved.
Today, Verizon brought 200 comfort journals to the Irving Family Advocacy Center for us to give to victims and survivors of domestic violence and child abuse.
This is such a fantastic gift. We have children come into the center almost every day, and they'll come in with different levels of trauma.
Verizon's been very passionate with domestic violence issues for the past 15 years. A lot of the employees really had a lot of heart creating these journals that we have here.
Verizon has been very supportive of our center over the years, so to see them continuing to partner with us and to continue to support our clients. Financial support is great, but then things like this that are so personal are a wonderful way to be a part of our agency and to be a part of these kids' lives.
One of the major things is I encourage them to write in a journal. And I can tell them about it and I tell them what to do, but now to actually have these in my hand, to be able to hand to them and say, look, you can start today and open it up and write about what you're feeling.
This one says you are very special. So many times our adult victims and our child victims feel like they're worthless, nobody cares about them, nobody loves them. And so to get something like this from a complete stranger to say you are special and I took time to think about you, it means so much.
To know that we have the support from community agencies and corporations and companies, it's a great benefit for our children.
Staff members at the Family Advocacy Center also participate in a benefit walk that Verizon hosts to help victims. Now to something extra special for history buffs. The next monthly tour of the Heritage House comes with a bonus. Visitors on Sunday, November 6th will receive a free copy of the book From Rails to Wings by the late Norma Stanton. It details a lot of the history of the city. Guided tours of the Heritage House will take place at 3 and 4 p.m. and also include a look at the recently renovated Mary's Playhouse. The theme for this year's holiday parade is Christmas Tales and Toys, and for groups wanting to participate, this is the time to sign up. Floats, decorated vehicles, and walking groups are all part of the parade. Forms are available at cityofirving.org/parks. They are due on November 25th, and the holiday extravaganza is December 3rd. And it's time now for our Pets of the Week. JP Zavala is at the Animal Care Campus.
We're at the Animal Care Campus with Michael Whiteside. And Michael, who's this?
This is Coco. He is a little over a year old. He's a bit shy. He does get a little nervous around strangers. He was returned to us just in early September. He had been previously adopted, and I guess his disdain, I would say, for strangers caused an issue with his owner, so they returned him to us. I think he said he's a little over a year old, and he's really, really friendly. It just takes him a few minutes to warm up to you. So, I mean, a lot of people kind of ignore him because he seems a little disturbed when they go near him. But once you get to know him, he's just a sweetheart that just wants to cuddle.
All right, Michael, and who's this big, handsome guy?
This here is Hank. He is about 2 years old. He's kind of had a bit of a history here at the shelter. He actually was originally adopted as a puppy and then brought back a few months later because they were having some issues in the home. Then he was adopted again and brought back this past January. The owner had a 2-year-old child, and sometimes 2-year-olds and dogs don't get along very well, and that was kind of the case with this one. So they brought him back. But from what I've seen here at the shelter, he's never really shown any aggression towards people or other animals. He really kind of just wants to sit with you and give you kisses.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. He seems to be really friendly, right?
He is, but he's one of those, sometimes you have those dogs in the larger kennels that when you walk by, they kind of, jump around and look like, they're gonna just jump on you as soon as you open the door. Once you get him out, he is really just a love bug. He just wants to be right next to you and, like I said, give kisses, and he's just a real sweetheart.
And this is Simon, full of energy, right?
Definitely. Simon's a 2-year-old retriever pointer mix. He's been with us about a month now. He came into the city of Irving, and then we pulled him from over there. And he is, even at 2 years old, he's full of energy, full of love. He knows a few commands. He's quite friendly and just really enjoys being around people.
Now, I know DFW Humane Society has a big fundraiser coming up. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Of course I can. Sunday, November 13th at 6 p.m. at the Four Seasons Resort and Club, Dallas and Las Colinas on MacArthur is our annual Black Collar Affair. That's our largest fundraiser of the year. We have food from 10 different restaurants in the area, silent auction, live auction, raffle. The raffle, you can actually win a $1,000 North Park Center gift card. And we're very excited this year to have Brian Curtis from NBC5 as our MC. And then we're going to have some live music and just a great time celebrating the shelter and our pets and all of the people that help us throughout the year.
So food, prizes, and helping out, right?
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And tickets are available right now. Individual tickets are $125, and you can get them at blackcollaraffair.org or through our website, dfwhumane.com.
Thank you, Michael. And back to you, Thomas.
All right, JP, thanks a lot. The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. It is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Also, check out the websites you see on the screen. A big event at the Irving Convention Center is focusing on construction safety. Coverage of that on the next City Source. Also, why are all of these people dancing? I'll have the answer in a touching story you will not want to miss. And if traveling makes you stressed, there is new help available at DFW Airport, and this help has 4 legs and is quite adorable. That should also be a great story, so you won't want to miss our next show. Email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. We may read some of your messages here on the show, or you can always comment on our videos at youtube.com/thecityofirving. And how about subscribing to our channel while you're there? And that's it for this edition of City Source. We leave you now with more from the tree planting on the Campion Trail. Thanks to everyone who's a part of this one, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.